Well, we are surrounded by history here in the museum at Phillip Island. In fact, there's so many Italian motorcycles, we thought that it would be good if we could catch up with Romano Albesiano. Of course, he's the sport and technical director of the Aprilia racing team here. And firstly, welcome to Phillip Island.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure being here. It's such a fantastic place and such a fantastic racetrack.
I mean, we started off at a place that I know that you would like, we thought you would like. We thought we'd bring you to our collection of Italian motorcycles here.
Well, when I entered this room, I was really astonished. I've never seen so many Aprilia and Cagiva racing bike together. It's unbelievable, really.
Yeah, of course.
Super.
Of course, you've got a very long history with racing, going back to the 90s and before, and I mean, some of the bikes we were talking about, the Cagivas, you had a lot of input on those machines.
Yeah, I've been working on the last 4 years machines. I was responsible of the chassis design, aerodynamic design, and at those times the design group, the racing teams were much smaller than now. Motorcycles were much simpler, but yes, it's an emotion to see all these things together, really.
You've also worked with the DTM, with car design, also in the aeronautical engineering, with aerodynamics, many different things.
Well, I've spent most of my career in motorcycles. I spent 3 years doing aerodynamic work, wind tunnel work, basically, for DTM, so racing cars. It's been very, very interesting, and honestly, I did it in order to gain some experience to bring to motorcycle again.
So, how long ago were people looking at wings? I guess wings are the big question in motorcycle racing now. Do they work, don't they work? But how long ago was it that we were actually looking at putting them onto motorcycles?
Well, since let's say 3 years, wings have come back to motorcycling. There are many reasons for this to happen, due to, in general, to the extra power the modern bikes have. So the wheelie problem, the wheelie limit we encounter very easily with such big power. Front wings help to keep the front wheel with more contact on the ground. It's for sure an important point for the development for the next seasons. It will become more and more important, and it's also a thing that everybody can see. It's so evident. So there's a lot of talk about wings. Also because of this.
But with your engineering background, I mean, like for me, it just seems like it's a hard thing to quantify. I mean, how do you tell if it's better or not, or is it a gut feeling? Is it a measurable thing?
We can measure, the simplest way is to make simulation, computer simulation. There you can immediately see the advantage, check the advantage, disregarding the rider confidence, so you get the potential advantage, and there is some potential advantage. It depends on the tracks. For example, there are tracks where the wheelie limit is very important, some other tracks where the speed limit is very important. So in the first kind of track, you really, if you have a wing, it really helps. In the other kind of track, maybe is a disadvantage. So we have to fit, like in cars, you have to fit the level of downforce with the track design. But it's not a huge advantage, but being the pack of the riders in MotoGP so tight, every little thing can make a big difference.
It's a lot more complicated than just wings to make a competitive MotoGP bike. And I know that Aprilia have been working hard to the goal of getting on the podium now for a while now. but it looks to me like next year is probably going to be a really good year for you guys because you've got a strong team put together.
Sure. We are in the middle of a difficult season, honestly, but it's a season where we anyway we are growing up technically. Then in racing, you know, sometimes you lose a little bit the balance, the confidence, and you don't get the results that you potentially can have.
Yep.
So, but we are keep working very, very hard, improving all the technological aspects of this bike, and we are preparing for the next season with 2 super riders, and we believe we can really be successful next year.
Well, Romano, we certainly wish you the best of luck into the future. We look forward to seeing you out here on track at Phillip Island this weekend, and we look forward to seeing the Aprilia up at the top.
Thank you very much.